so thank you everyone for coming together today. I hope that this online training will give you um, additional insights about our product. So for today, I'm preparing three contents. It is about common issues, and of course, it is related to the device access issues. Then the second topic is about troubleshooting techniques. Most of the issues that we have received in this past 2 months. Then, of course, we will also give you an overview, especially for the new partners we have, about SIP trunk and multi-site configurations. Okay, so let's start with issues about access. No, so we have the device access issues. So here, the first scenario is that they were unable to access the device due to the incorrect IP address or the incorrect port number. Generally, the device status is that it powers up successfully with all the status LED on the device light normally. And of course, when we ask our customer what were their experience, is that when they lift the handset or the FXO port goes off hook, a dial tone is heard. Second experience they have is that they cannot load the web page. And using the default IP address, it shows a connection timeout on the screen. So the last one is that they forgot the IP address or the port number because their admin was able to modify it. So now the solutions we provide is that you need to obtain or set up the IP address through the phone that is attached to the FXS port. So now if you have a handset, just pick it up, then dial the pound sign to hear the device current IP address and port number. Second operation is that when you need to set via DHCP, you just simply pick up your handset and dial the code *90 £1 sign to automatically receive the IP address from DHCP server. The third but not the least is to set the new static IP address for the device. So here, you just have to pick up the handset, the dial the *90 plus the network parameters. So what are these network parameters? It is after the *90, you need to add the IP address followed by the number sign, then netmask address followed by the number sign plus the gateway IP followed by the number sign. Then to end up that is to add 0 and the number sign. So here, if your operation is accepted, you should be able to hear the confirmation tone or the voice prompt. Otherwise, you should retry it. So after that, you can simply power cycle the device by simply replugging the power source of the device. And yep, we have also other way is to get the IP address through the Finder tool. So we have this Finder tool that is readily available on our website. So you just simply log into our website and click the product software app, then you can find and download that. So with this Finder tool that NewRock offers to our customers, you can see the current MAC address and the IP address of your devices on your network. Okay, so we have this second scenario, which the customer, of course, they forget the password. Now they were unable to log in the web GUI. Yep, generally the status, all the LED are lighting normally and it successfully powers up. And of course, the device is also normal that when you lift the handset, the dial tone is heard. Then you were able to log in I mean, you were able to see the web login page and you were able to enter a password. However, it shows a prompt that the incorrect password. So there are three solutions for that we offer. First is to perform a factory reset through a phone attached to any of the FXS port. So yeah, we need to use the code. You simply dial the asterisk 911234 pound sign. Then after hearing the three beeps, you simply power cycle the device. So power cycle, we just have to unplug and replug the power source. Second solution we provide is, of course, we have a readily made, we have the built-in reset button. So you just simply push the reset button for 3 seconds or longer. And after that, if you can see the SCU LED flashes red, so you just simply wait the device for a complete reboot. Then after that, your device has been successfully factory reset. Then another way is to use the factory reset for Finder tool. Generally, this Finder tool, we can only reset the smaller device, which is our HX4G. Because HX4G, we don't have the reset button on it. All other devices we have has the reset button. That is very convenient. However, for our small device, the HX4G, we don't have, so we can use our Finder tool. Okay, so the next scenario is that we have, the customer can log in the web they were able to be denied and because of the many incorrect password or the PIN attempt. So generally, again, it shows a LED normal status. So it also normally power on. So here, the experience is that they can still hear the dial tone when they hook the FXS port, and they were able to load the web login page. However, there has, a 500 error display. So due to the incorrect password, 6 attempts for the incorrect password. Solution we offer is that you can reattempt login after 600 seconds or 10 minutes. Then you can reattempt login using another PC or simply change the PC IP address. Then the easiest way also is just reboot the device and try again. Reboot, just simply unplug and replug the power source. Another scenario for device access issue, we encountered that they were unable to access the device because the PC's IP address is not in the access whitelist. Yeah, so here, the device also, all the LED is lighting normally. And of course, a dial tone is heard from the FXS port. And here, they cannot load the web page because they are on the access whitelist. So generally, they cannot be able to access the HTTP, HTTPS, or the SSH access level permission. So now it will show a connection timeout on the screen. So we have a solution that we offer. The device can also, we have the internal preset whitelist address, which is the 192.168.2.100. So how are you able to do that? You need to simply have a direct connection between your device and the PC using the Ethernet cable. And you can use the command 90 asterisk. So this is to set the IP, static IP to your device. So for example, because the preset whitelist is 2100, so you can simply use 101, 102, 103, so on. So as long as they are on the same IP segment. Then of course, on your PC, you need to define the PC IP address as 192.168.2.100. Doing so, you will be able to access the device through the web browser. The next scenario is that you unable to access the device after the firmware upgrade. Yeah, so we have several cases. We received this one that after the upgrade, they were no longer able to access it. So the normal status, all LED is lighting up. And of course, they were able to hear a dial tone on when they lift the handset. However, they cannot load the web page. So they use the device IP, they know the device IP, but still a connection timeout shown on the screen. So here, most of, I mean, the solutions that we provide here is just simply perform a factory reset using the FX Export. So now you can simply dial asterisk 911234 pound sign, then hear the beep sounds 3 times. Then after that, you need to power cycle the device. So also for the HX4G, you can also use the finder tool. Okay, another scenario is that here this is this one is more complex or have chances that the device will be no longer be accessed at all. So this is also happen after the firmware upgrade. Now the device status is that the device LED is flashing red, so the STU LED. So it means that the device is powering up abnormally. So here, when you lift the handset, there is no dial tone that can be heard. Of course, you cannot also load the web page. So in the technical sense, it means that the device is already dead, right? So we can revive that. However, we can also use a factory reset. So if that will not help, there is a we have to access the device on the background. So in this time, our technical team is very glad to help you. We can also give you a SSH command. We can also give you the through the console port. We have a command to do that. So we will help you to access that. So by the way, in the event that the device you were not able to access that, but we need to have the console port access for your device to revive your device. Okay, so the next scenario is that they were unable to access the device due to the IP address conflict. So here, um, on the desktop device, so the STU LED flashes red. So it means abnormal. And of course, on the chassis mounting device, our bigger devices, the alarm LED flashes a letter C that is shown on the LED matrix. So now, you can also hear the dial tone, and sometimes, no, sometimes you cannot load the device because it seems that there are some really conflict issue with the IP address. So the solution, we need to obtain or set a static IP address using the FX port. So pick up the handset and dial asterisk 90 pound pound 1 sign to automatically receives the IP address from the DHCP server, or set the static IP address by simply using the asterisk 90 code, then input the network parameters. So IP address followed by the number sign, net mask followed by the number sign, gateway IP followed by number sign plus the 0 number sign. So yeah, doing so, it will help reset the device your IP address. So another way is to access through the direct Ethernet cable connection from a PC. No, so we have a PC port. You can connect that directly to your PC. No, so direct connection to a computer, Ethernet, then plug in the web GUI to reconfigure that device IP address. That is the simplest way that you can do. Yeah, so those issues that we show is most of the device issues that we recently, I mean, for our new customers, new partners, they have encountered that one. And I know for our old partners, so they are already familiar by that, but also it helps, this training also helps you to, I mean, to have some review of the troubleshooting techniques and the issues, how to solve that one. Now, let's proceed to the second content. It is more on the troubleshooting techniques. So generally, we have three processes. First one is to collect the information. So how we're able to collect that? Of course, we have our customer, and of course, they encounter some feedback. So we need those information detailed as possible. Then, secondly, is that we receive alarms generated by the NMS. And of course, we have the inspection or the routine maintenance by their technical guys. So now, if you have this information, so generally we need to have the logs. So we need to troubleshoot the fault. So we need to do some data. We need to gather the data. We need to have analysis of all the data. And of course, we can compare that. Then by doing so, we can locate, identify the possible causes, and then we need to determine the most probable cause. So here in for New Rock, we on how to resolve the fault. Also, we have our R&D. They are very open and they were also very aggressive in resolving the issues as soon as possible. No, so here they have a proper measures, steps to rectify and to restore the system. And of course, we have to test and verify the solution as well. So now here I'll have to show you how to check the firmware version, the DSP, and the line driver version on the device. So you can access the SSH. So we have I think here we can log in as operator, then the password is operator at 021, then also access the directory, and the password by default it is VoIP gateway. So by doing so, you can already search here. You can type cat etc bin version and you can see the current versions that is loaded on your device. This is the config bin version also as well. So you can see that. For the DSP version, you can also see what's the version for your driver. This is version 2.49, for example. And for the line driver, the device driver, that is 4.12.2. So you can also see the line, no? So the status on the line, the FXO, which is the, I mean, what module is it is using right now. Also on the web GUI, you can simply check, go to the device information. You can see which model, the number of extension, of course, the software version, and of course, the specific firmware version of your device, and of course, the DSP version as well. So here, I'll have also to show you the, I mean, especially for the new customers we have, this is very important that you need to know also to gather the data capture. In our device, we have the IP capture tool, and we can also make a test. After that, just click, then the system will automatically package and compress the captured packet files. So we need this one also. In terms for the voice quality, we need to see the packets also going on to the network. Also, we can capture the PSTN signal. So this is very important when you have issue with the caller ID, with the busy tone detection. So we really need to get the information and to capture those line signal. So how to do it? You need to select the FXO port. Say, for example, here 8000 port. Then you need to just simply click start. Then after finish the call, you can simply download the capture file with the extension of DCM. So here, say for example, we need to capture the caller ID. So just simply make an incoming call from the PSTN, and wait for about 10 seconds, then stop the button, and don't have to pick up the phone in this case. Another example, we have a busy tone signal. So we have these cases when you want to integrate our devices with the some of the PBX, legacy PBX. So we have this some cases, so especially for Panasonic. So we need to get the busy tone signal. We need to get the incoming call from the PSTN to FXO. Then on the PSTN side, you need to unhook, then wait for a couple of seconds until the PSTN line play a busy tone. So by that, you can get a stop and get the busy tone signal. Yeah, also we need the log files. So if you have issues, you have defined. So we need those log files from our device. You can get that from the log manage log menu. Then simply select which log level you want. So by default, log level 4 for issues regarding the SIP messages. So log level 4 is enough. Issues regarding the RTP, we need the log level 6. Issues regarding the registration, we need log level 8. So yeah, we need those logs. So if you have issues, this is for us to see the overview or the how the SIP messages behaves in our gateway and in the network. So here we have a user action on registration failed issue. So here the FXS and FXO ports could not register successfully. And of course, the ECU indicator keeps on blinking alternatively between red and green. So the action that we really strongly suggest is to check whether the network between the gateway and IP-PBX is accessible. So you can simply do a simple ping test if it can be pinged. Then second one is you can check whether the registered server address and port are correct. Check whether the FXS and FXO ports are enabled registration. And of course, it is very important to check the SIP account and the password are configured correctly. And also, it helps to modify the local signaling port and modify the increments of the signaling port. So the default value is none or 0. So you can modify that from 1 to 10. No? So when the value is 5, it means that the local signaling port is from 60. After the registration it failed, it will increment the signaling port to 61 until it succeeds basing from your set increment port number. Then you can also check the related to registration, the branch, the RT port via contact domain name. So these are the SIP URI info. So this is also important for registration. So as you can see here, these are the important parts that is very, we cautiously set this one for us to be able to register the device to your server. So also on the line configuration, we need to configure this one. So these are some registration issues. So we can see that from the log system status, we can see the response. So if it is 403, means that you need to verify the registration account password, or you need to verify the registration account number. If there is no response, so solution is that you need to verify if the register IP address and port are correct. If the IP address is correct, confirm if you can ping the gateway and server through the SSH, Telnet, or from your PC. So you can verify that one. Yeah, so in general, so you can see here if response is 200, it means that the registration is success, no? So if there is no response, again, there's you need to check the network, check the register server, modify the local signaling port. And if it is 404, it means the incorrect registration number. So simply check the SIP account from your ITSP. And of course, if it is 403, that is related to the registration password. Okay, so here we have issue with the busy tone detection. So generally, the busy tone standards are different in different countries. So if busy tone detection parameter was set wrong, it means that the PSTN lines could not be released. So we have received this from some of our Middle Eastern partners. They have these issues. Then by doing so, it is very important for us to capture the analog signal. I mean, we need to see the busy tone signal. No? So we need to wait for a while until such that the PSTN line play the busy tone. Then you can, that's the time you click stop. Then the system will download the capture. So after that, we need to analyze the busy tone characteristics. So we can open the captured busy tone. We can use the Cool Edit Pro. So this is a sound editing program for Windows. And after that, we can see the busy tone characteristics. So say for example here, the busy tone on time is 350 and the off time is 350 as well. So these are the busy tone detection parameter. So we need to set this one in our gateway or in our IP-PBX. So here, we need to modify the parameters. So go to trunk advanced page, then modify the busy tone detection on, that is 350, modify the busy tone duration of duration to 350. No? So if there is a dual frequency, you can input with either only with one frequency, and that will do for your device, and that will really greatly help to set the PSTN busy tone parameters. So here, let me give you an overview that what are the specific busy tone detection that our device can detect. So first, we have the single pattern. What is this single pattern? It has a characteristic of that all of the tone durations are the same. So same durations for on, same durations for off. So as you can see here, this is our example that we showed previously. That is 350 milliseconds on, 350 milliseconds off. So this is a single pattern busy tone. We have no problem for this one. Another one is a dual pattern busy tone. So this is all of the tone durations are the same, tone on. However, the tone off are not the same. As you can see here, so on is 200 milliseconds, off is 200 milliseconds. Then the same for the on. However, for the next off, that is 1.2 minutes. No? So that is 1,400 milliseconds off. So here, we need to do some configuration changes. So for the busy tone, on, you can set 200. So as mentioned, this is a dual pattern or dual tone off. We can only input the first one or either of the, off tone duration. No? So here, I only input 200. So you don't have to input 200 and 1,400. You can input 200. You can also input 1,400. So, but for our keepsaking, I mean, it's more safe to use the minimum level turn off duration. It has a dual pattern busy tone detection. Another tone detection is the AM, that is amplitude modulated signal. So as you can see here, this is not, not a continuous one. So there is a busy tone count that is, the busy sample that we need to adjust. So the on here is 250, off time is 250. However, it shows here that is not, we have is a sample, no? So the period is amplitude modulated. So the height of each signal are not the same. So we need to set how much is the amplitude for one sample. No, this is a there are more samples, busy samples in one signal. So as you can see, here we need to set 20 milliseconds. So that is a parameter that we can set on the XML using this XML command. In the URL, you can input your device IP address. Then we have this XML command. This is the ID number for the BC sample. BC sample ID is ID 917. And of course, we can set 20. So after that, you need to you need to set this one also on the BC tone count, then on duration of duration, and on the URL set this to 20. So by doing so, we can also detect the BC tone on your device. Yeah, we have also this sound quality problem. So I think sound quality problems is a problem in the VoIP. So we have a noise issue. So first and foremost is we really need to check the grounding. No, so we have you need to have a ground connection, for good ground connection for your device, and check also if the wiring is good. So sometimes some of the wiring are intertwined, so you need to set some wiring that is in a very good position. And of course, you need to consider the insulation environment. So there are some potential sources of the electromagnetic interference that, of course, we all know it can also affect the noise on the device. So also here, the suggestions that we put or we can set on our device is that we can decrease the gain to PSTN and the gain to terminal of your device. So from the trunk side, you can decrease the gain to PSTN. By default, it is -3. You can decrease that step by step, or you can lower that. And of course, for the gain terminal, also you can decrease the value for the line. So here, it really, it will really help you resolve the noise issues that your customer is experiencing for each call. Next issue is regarding the sound quality, that is echo. So now, first is we need to check that the wiring is good. So you need also to check that the echo cancellation is enabled on the trunk. So you need to set that. As you can see here, we need to check that the echo cancellation is enabled. Check whether the circuit gain is set too high. So you need to decrease the gain to PSTN again. And of course, on the line, also the gain to terminal, and make sure that the impedance is the same. So this one example is in US, they use a 600 ohm on the impedance line. So they need to set that as well. No? So also for the trunk, they need to set that. It need to be synchronized with the PSTN line. So here, in the event that you already set, you have a very good grounding, you have no interference, there's no such other devices that can interfere, and you have lowered the gain level and set the impedance, and still there are some echo. So there is also parameter in our device. You can set that. So this is on the echo tail. So this you can set these values from 1 to 300. So you can adjust every 30 milliseconds. So this is also adjust the value. We can start from 30, increase a little bit, and so on. No? So this also helps this parameter. And we have another parameter that can also help is the echo cancel length. The ID is 64. So you can also use that one. So you can set this parameter. Okay, so now we have the DTMF sending and detection problem issues. So here, the it sent DTMF to soft switch. However, it does not correctly receive the DTMF signals. So our suggestion is to set the DTMF transmission mode. So you can set the transmission mode in accordance with your, on your system. So on the basic system page. Then on the DTMF, detect DTMF from PSTN. So it shows here that the PSTN calls is in progress and gateway does not send DTMF to the switch. So you need to check whether the FXO received DTMF signals and the DTMF signals are distorted. So we need to verify that one so we can get some capture of that. Also, it detects DTMF from the PSTN. However, the export is non-standard. So such that maybe not standard because it's too short or too long. So we need to set that one. We need to adjust the DTMF detection threshold according to the actual received signal. FXO send DTMF to PSTN. So the CO line needs a DTMF length and the spacing of the FXO issued for that one. So that is needs an adjustment issue. No? So we can go to the gateway signal sending interval and hold time parameters. So these are related to the DTMS signal. So here, user action for the DTMF error or the miss detection. So this is a more common scenario. So both sides cannot hear a second stage dialing, but they can hear the dial tone. So the user action is that you need to set the DTMF detection duration and the DTMF detection duration increment against stock. So these two parameters will help you correct the DTMF error or the miss detection. Okay, another issues that we also receive, especially for the North American also and some of our Southeast Asian customers. So FXO cannot detect caller ID. First thing is you need to verify if the PSTN subscriber line supports caller ID. Then how to do that? You can simply connect the PSTN directly to the analog phone, then make an incoming call. Then if it provides caller ID, you need to notice when the caller ID shows. Is it before the first ring or after the first ring? So we really need to do that because we need those information to set on our device. So on our device, you need to go to the enable the caller ID delivery on the line configuration, caller ID detection on the trunk feature, and of course, collect the caller ID detection mode. So say for example, the caller ID shows before the first ring. So you need to set before ring on the detection mode. And of course, you need to set the correct impedance value. So generally here, this is for our, we can set to 600 ohms. So in the event that still cannot correct that, we need to dig deeper. We need to understand the characteristics of the caller ID. So here, we need to get an analog capture, then use a Call Edit Pro software. We can see the characteristics. No? So by seeing the characteristics, we can adjust the gain intensity. So we have this parameter. This parameter helps you to increase and decrease the gain parameter. So we can also, anyway, we have a manual for this, the how to troubleshoot CID detection. So we can also provide you this one. So this is more on the advanced technical, resolving the issues on the caller ID detection issue. So here, the default is 10. So if the signal is too strong, you can adjust the value to 9. If it's too weak, increase the value for the CID gate parameter. Yeah, these are some common actions. So here, caller ID display P. So the solution is that you need to contact your operator. to solve the issue, since P indicates that the PSTN operators hide the caller ID. Then we have a call from FXO incoming, cannot display caller ID. So as I think we have mentioned this one, you can also do the caller ID detection mode. That is very important if it's below, before or after ring. Then also check the analog capture. Can detect caller ID, but the caller ID is incomplete. So again, this is caused by the PSTN line is signal. I mean, it's too strong or too weak. So we need to adjust this parameter. Okay, so here is one of common issue that the phone does not ring, but the call is normal after pickup. Then the other side can hear a ring back tone. However, when the phone is picked up, the call is already established. So here, we can increase the ring voltage and the ring frequency on our device. Also, the impedance can also set this one. This is according to the line impedance. And we also receive such issues that the volume is too loud or too quiet, so too low. So we need to increase or decrease the gain to terminal and the gain to IP on the line and the trunk parameters of our device. So this is how we set that. Yeah, so another issue is that related to the polarity detection issue, no? So here we need to focus on these points, no? We need to enable the polarity detection, enable the polarity reverse signal detection on the trunk. These are two important parameters, and you need to confirm that the PSTN line supports polarity reversal. Only these 3 points, you will be able to correct this issue. Another issue is that calls are automatically disconnected after 60 seconds of conversation. No? So there is 2 scenarios that it occurs. Outgoing call via FXO, enable the feature, the polarity reversal detection. So here, if the FXO port do not support this feature, it will automatically disconnected. So solution, we need to verify if the PSTN can support. So then if they verify that it cannot support PSTN, so you need to disable the polarity reversal signal on our trunk parameters on our device. Then another scenario is that when call is established, the device sent 200 OK requests to server. So, but however, we did not receive ACK requests from the server or the client side. So as you can see, this is an example SIP messages. So the solution, we need the log level 4. You can check this information, FXO disconnected. Then you can set this ID, no? ID 215 set to no. So this is how check the message log. You need to check the contact field, also the message log on the log 4. So if the server said bye to the device to end the call. So these are some of the, solutions you provide, and it really resolves this issue with regards to 60 seconds disconnection issue. Another issue we receive is that the call is established and it is being dropped suddenly, no? So here, again, you need to check polarity detection. And of course, the FXO, here we can check if it has disconnected on the SIP messages, and check the 25 ID. So the default is 500. You can increase that to 1,000 or double the value. So if the issue happens, so we need to suggest to measure the voltage on the PSTN line. So also a way is to modify the Hawk debalancing value. Default is 50. You can also try to increase that value as well. So that is also very helpful in resolving issues that when calls are dropped suddenly. Okay, so let's focus on the last one, the SIP trunk and multi-site configuration. So SIP trunk, this is very important for our new partners. So um, just go to the trunk IP trunk. So just fill in the account information of your ITSP account. So you can have the trunk type. So say for example here is that you need to register the device. So you need to fill in the ITSP account credentials correctly. Then you need to press OK. Then check the status if it is registered successfully. Another very important configurations is the multi-site deployment. So generally, when OM is located in the intranet, so if you want to register the system from the external IP extension or from a multi-site networking, so you need to configure a remote address information. No? So you need to configure the port mapping, or you can simply use the P2P traversal. So the first example is a remote access with a P2P connection across our NAT. No? So we have this feature. So you can simply get these services from us. So this way, you don't have to register the port mapping. You need to configure the remote address information. Just simply use the external terminal. No, so you have this one, and you'll be able to register your IP phone and your gateway. Another way is the remote access. So this is one of the solution to using the DNS or external IP address. If you don't want to use the P2P service that we offer, so you can also use this one. But you need to be very careful that you need to configure the port mapping of your router. No? So you need to configure that one also on your router. So how to configure multi-site? So as you can see here, so we can connect multi-site connections with our devices. So you can simply set numbering scheme. So on the site A should not have be the same extension on site B. So as you can see here, we use 200 and 300 on the site B. So go to multi-site page, then globally assign, then after which you need to input. No, so here we are using the P2P services. So just simply use this one. This number is the one that we show here. No, so these are the digits here. You can copy that and input these numbers on our OOM IP-PBX. No? So this is for the first device and this is for the second device. So we can connect as many devices. I think up to 50 devices. We can have a multi-site connection. So by doing so, it's very convenient that all extensions from different sites can call each other. Yeah, this is how we register the remote IP phone. So here, you can register the server address. This is the P2P code that we have set now. So these are the register the domain for your OM. No, this is our IP-PBX. So this is the server address. Just simply use that. Then your phone will be able to register on our IP-PBX. So yeah, I think this concludes the training, and I believe there are some questions. So yeah, I will try my best to answer all these questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Romel, for your detailed presentation. Now we enter to the FAQ sessions. Please feel free to unmute yourself and have your questions.